Hey everybody, today's Monday, August 4th, 2025. It's been about a month since I've released a new video. Kind of running out of ideas other than just randomly riding around. So kind of what I'm going to do today a little bit, but I am curious. I had read something about some of the construction on here at the I-75 and 24 split, that the lanes are supposed to be open now with their new traffic patterns. I can't remember what day it said that was supposed to happen, but I'm thinking it might already be that way. So I'm going to jump on the interstate and see if anything's different. And I'm going to continue riding. I'm going to ride up to Decatur, Tennessee today. Hopefully the rain is going to hold off. It's kind of cloudy. It's about 72 degrees today, which is really nice, but it actually feels kind of cool compared to what the weather's been like. So I'm already feeling like maybe I should have worn a long sleeve shirt. But I think once I ride a little bit more and get used to it, it'll be okay. But anyway, we're just gonna get out and see what's going on, see what the interstate looks like. It kind of worries me just slightly, because when they're doing all this construction on the interstate, there's sometimes these lines in the pavement. There's lines in the pavement, and with this bike, the tires are a little bit narrow, and they seem to follow the groove. And it just kind of makes you wiggle around a little bit. That always makes me feel uneasy. So especially if there's new lanes open, I'm not familiar with how the new concrete or asphalt feels on the tires. It's just a little nerve-wracking until I ride it that first time and learn where the new seams in the road and cracks and anything like that. But, you know, only one way to find out. Okay, there is a sign here that says new traffic pattern ahead, so maybe that means the lanes are open. But some of you guys that watch these videos, I don't know if you're subscribers or you just randomly search for CB400 videos. You seem to like the ones where I go on the interstate. My highest viewed video, I think, is one where I'm asking, you know, can you ride it on the interstate highway? I've done a couple of different videos of doing that. One of them I did. I was riding into the wind and doing about 70 miles an hour, and that makes you feel way more unstable. Going this way on the interstate, I'm usually not riding into the wind, so it's not nearly as bad. But hopefully you guys will enjoy this video of riding on the interstate. I don't know, so far, at least on this part, it doesn't look like there's any change. This is how it's been for the last however long I can remember. I have to get off of these once I get these trucks to go by. in this minivan. Let's get over one more. Yes, I guess it's a false alarm. It's not time yet for the new lanes to be open. I must have misread it, misunderstood it. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about, these lane shifts, where the lanes shift over and you get the seams in between the lanes. The tires like to follow those splits in the road. If you can see, I don't have the windshield on here. I'm doing almost 70 right now. It's not that bad. That truck I just passed, the wind from that kind of blew me around a little bit. Not too bad. You can see with the 18-tooth front sprocket, let me get back up to about 70. I'm doing about 4,300 RPM, so it's pretty good for cruising on the highway at higher speeds. With the original, I can't remember if it was 15, 16 tooth, it would sound a lot more, I mean, the RPMs were way higher. The bike just sounds a lot more at ease with this 18 tooth sprocket. Yeah, this is so wild, being beginning of August and it's 72 degrees. I think that's supposed to be the high for the day. I've been used to it being, 90, 95 degrees, and all of a sudden it's 72. It's kind of nice for a change, but it's a little bit of a shock to the system. I'm riding from Chattanooga up to Decatur, Tennessee. It's about an hour ride, so by the time I get there, I'm going to be nice and chilly, I'm sure. Alright, but anyway, I'll come back to the video in a minute when there's something interesting. Alright, I got off of Volkswagen Drive. I usually get off at Volkswagen Drive and turn down and go by the Volkswagen assembly plant. But I thought I'd switch it up a little bit today and take a different way, a different route. I've not driven this way on the Old Lee Highway in quite a while. There's one of my favorite barbecue places on this road. It's called Couch's Barbecue. They've been there a long time, a very long time. It's really good barbecue. It's not pulled pork. It's very thinly sliced pork. They have, I think, beef and chicken, but the sliced pork is my favorite with lettuce and tomato. It's right there. It's Couch's Barbecue. I said it's not your traditional pulled pork barbecue, but if you like barbecue and you live in the Chattanooga area, I think it's worth a try. I grew up in the Ooltewah and Snow Hill area. It's really grown up. Years ago, none of these houses were out here. This is all pretty new subdivisions. You know, like most places, I guess, over time it's growing more and more. Ever since the Volkswagen plant came to Chattanooga, the city has just really taken off. I'm sure it's not all just because of Volkswagen, but I imagine it had a pretty big part to play in the growth of the city. I don't normally like to go into Ooltewah anymore because the traffic is really heavy. Again, whenever I was growing up out here, we had a Red Food grocery store, which they're no longer in business. A company called Bilo bought them out, and then a company called Food City bought them out. But anyway, when I grew up out here, there was the grocery store, and we had a Little Caesars Pizza, a couple of little service stations, and that was about it. And now there's hotels. I mean, they got a Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, I mean, all kinds of banks, Walmart, Burger King. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out here that wasn't out here way back then. But I'm hoping at this time of day, yeah, it's looking like traffic's not too bad. Not like it can be sometimes. Like, you would think this was a big city the way the traffic gets, and sometimes it's just ridiculous. Still, it's going to take me a minute to even be able to turn. And I still need to get over one more lane. There's other ways you can go, but I just decided to go this way because even myself, I haven't been down this road in a good while. But yeah, there used to be basically nothing out here, and it's just jam-packed. I can't stand turning in areas like this up here. I can't see around these cars. Okay, that's just as well. I'm stopped by the traffic light. So we'll come back to the video in a minute. Alright, finally made it through the traffic light. Going down to Ooltewah, Georgetown Road. don't know, these clouds, like I said, it's not really supposed to rain. There's maybe a 10% chance, but the sky looking like it does is just not making me feel too good. And back that way is Ottawa High School and Mountain View Road, I think it's called. Not too far from where I grew up. And I think just about every time I come out here, it seems like there's a new neighborhood, a new subdivision. I might leave a little bit more of this part in for my mom, because I know she's going to watch this. She doesn't come down this way too much. She lives with my grandmother, so she spends a lot of her days with her mother, taking care of her. She doesn't get to come down this way as much. There's a little cemetery back there. Yeah, I like going to cemeteries, so I see a cemetery sign, it always catches my eye. Roy Lane. And Blueberry Lane. Again, my mom will watch this, so that's why I'm pointing out the road names, because she'll know what I'm talking about. Right there is McKenzie Lane. And right here is where I grew up. This house right here, and then the house behind it. And I'm coming up to this intersection up here. This is Georgetown and Mahan Gap. Right up here on the right is Crossroads Baptist Church. That's where I went to church when I was a child. I don't remember when I stopped going there, but it was just a little while when I was a child. I went to church there. There's Water Tower Road. Yeah, and that's where they used to have a corn maze. The corn would grow up, and you go try to find your way through the maze. And there's a whole bunch of sunflowers. Most of the rest of the way, the road is just kind of like this. I don't want to bore everybody with all of this. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a little family cemetery right there on the side of the road. But I don't want to bore you all with this road continuing like this. But if there's something interesting, I'll start recording again and we'll pick back up with the video. I'm just riding along and there's this line all the way up the road. It's like, there was some sort of a truck that was just dumping something out. I'm not sure if it's like a tar truck or something. They were going to resurface something. I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but I can't imagine that it was meant to be that way. But if anybody knows what that is, you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. This is such a nice ride out here. There's basically no traffic. There's some curves and hills, and it's just really nice ride out in the country. It takes a little bit longer, but I think I'll come this way more often. I'm just about to the end of I guess this is still Ottawa Georgetown Road. Yeah, it's still Ottawa Georgetown Road. Now I'm going to turn and go towards Highway 58 and start heading up to Decatur. Look at this old gas station. That's pretty cool. Such a nice area out here. Everything just looks clean and manicured, and grass is cut. Here we are coming up on Highway 58. If you go straight right here, it'll take you all the way into Dayton, Tennessee. I may stop up here at the river, just pull over and get a little look at the water and the bridge. So be back in a minute. Alright, about to come up to the river here. So I'll pull over here, we'll take a look around just for a second. And we'll end the video. Maybe I can get a picture of my bike with the water in the background. I stopped over here one time and got a picture of my V-Star 1100. So I think I'll stop and get one of this bike. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Sorry it's been so long since I put out a video. I'm going to try to do better. I know I said that once before, but I've just been struggling to come up with good ideas for videos, things that anybody's going to watch, because the last couple of videos I did hardly got any views. But I don't know, we'll keep trying to figure it out. But again, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.